is just before we head down to St Kilda Crits today. And down at St Kilda Crits today we've got the Vic State Criterium Racing. So with a mouthful of muffin, how do you feel?
Well, the legs are okay. They're not too crash light. They've sort of been having like a bit of a bug that's been hanging around for about the past week. So they're feeling okay. They're a little bit heavy, a little bit fresh, a bit of both. And it's just see how it goes.
So how did you warm up today, tell us?
Cruise down to Black Rock. Yeah, just cruise down to Black Rock and back.
We're an hour out from the race. How do you feel? You feel confident?
I don't know. I'm sort of, me and Aidan are going to try and do our best. I'll try and do some breakaways, watch out for splits. I'm not going to try and do too much work, easier said than done, yes. And if it comes down to a sprint, then I'll give my best shot to give Aidan a lead out.
And what level are you entering in today?
It's elite, so it's open category. I'm under 23's category, but there's no under 23 category race, so it's all pretty much just elite men's. So up against like people like Rico Rogers, who is a pretty quick sprinter. He's gonna be hard to beat.
All right, well, let's see how you go at the end of the race today.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I'd say very good too.
No, we've been training a bit for it, so TJ will be alright.
Yeah, I think so. Go for some breaks.
Aidan, how are you feeling? Are you confident to take the win?
With the TSG boys here and some of these fellas, I'm not sure how we'll go. Hope for the best, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Hope for the best.
If I can come around the corner in a good wheel, maybe there's a chance. But once again, the TSG boys are here. So
how are you going to find a good wheel?
I'll if I got the legs, I'll put him in a good spot.
He's going to be giving me
3
the
laps
good
to
wheel.
go.
He's going to be the good wheel.
2 laps to go. I'll be on.
I need TJ for this.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to have people working for him today, I guess. I'm assuming.
Mixed grade, so it's going to be basically every sort of rider
Every
out
man
there.
for
How do you
himself.
feel?
Everyone's going all in. Everyone's put the chips on the table.
It's good and bad. I don't know. It's good and bad because I'm
a few veterans.
A bit worried about some of the people who are going to be racing. But anyway, you just got to stay safe, stay in the clear. And yeah, just basically.
And stitch and dart, I suppose, and stitch and dart. You just got to stitch and dart.
That one guy, yeah.
No, but
he's going to be a threat.
Yeah, Adam McGilbury.
So the trash shopping's already started.
This should be finishing close to 12 o'clock.
Yep.
What's the deal after 12 o'clock? We're going to go around to the brewery?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
No doubt about it.
Aidan shout.
Aidan shout at the brewery?
Yeah, of course, no doubt about it.
He didn't say no, so I'm guessing.
No.
here with Aidan,
Hi guys.
and we're going to just do a bit of a commentary over the video. And we'll start off with how the legs were feeling. My legs were feeling not too crash hot. They were a little bit fatigued. Didn't get a hell of a lot of sleep that night. But Aidan, how was your legs?
No, look, in all honesty, my legs are actually feeling all right. I mean, you know, the day before I did the hell ride, so I kind of had that race kind of on the Saturday, which I know sounds like it would make me feel a bit more tired, but you know, somehow kind of kept my legs nice and awake and tapered. So like, I felt pretty good in a nutshell. While we're actually racing though, there were moments where I was in a bit of pain. But look, it was good to get out, have some fun and all that. It was more a strategic game, but the legs felt good for sure.
And for my plan was to do breakaways. So you take pressure off Aidan, so he didn't have to do any work. Although we didn't really need to do all the work because there was so many teams already there.
Too many.
I didn't know there'd be that many teams.
No, I wasn't aware either. No.
Like they did push the entry, like the entry cut out like 2 days ahead because there was little entry. So I was assuming that all the big teams would be out elsewhere, but that wasn't it. And Aidan, what was your plan?
Well, you know, my plan was pretty obvious as it is most weekends, which is just basically stay safe, stay in the front half, come around with the last lap in the top 5-6 wheels and have a crack at the sprint. But as the footage will show, unfortunately, my brain wasn't very switched on the last 3 laps, and I basically slipped back too much. So the plan was originally just to basically have it as a sprint finish, whether that be in a small breakaway or in the main, you know, the big bunch. But that was the plan initially.
I think we did stick to it fairly well. I mean, I was in most of the breaks. I really thought there'd be like a massive split, but that just didn't happen at all. Nothing stuck.
Like, and every time, because you know, as you'll see in the footage as well, like I did a few breaks myself and went up the road with a few good riders, but still nothing seems to have, you know, actually held out there, which is really quite annoying, especially when you're burning a few matches.
Yeah, especially with like all these teams, like they were in form there. There was the Malaysian team that was there.
Yeah, and weapons.
I think they were the ones that were mostly chasing down the breakaways.
Yeah, I reckon that's right. Yeah,
because I don't really remember them having much representation in that break. But maybe I wasn't really looking back to seeing he was really chasing us down. But I was probably like the first 30 minutes. I was just in a breakaway, just trying to get something to go, but nothing would go.
Nothing would stick. I do agree that the Malaysians, apparently, from what Adam told me, who's a good friend of ours, who was in the crit as well, the Malaysians would really kind of benefit from a sprint finish, whether that be in a bunch or in a small group. But like the sprint finish is what they were after, given that they got such, you know, strong, powerful riders. So, you know, they were basically pulling most of the stuff back to ensure that they were able to send one of the guys for the sprint. So,
yeah, I think they had a fairly good lead out coming in the last few laps.
Oh, sensational lead out. I was kind of on my camera footage. I can kind of see it, like as I'm entering the last corner on that last lap. They're obviously exiting it. But I could see, you know, just a few meters ahead, I could see the lead out. It seemed to have worked fairly well, so no complaints really from them.
Yeah. So moving to the front in these races was probably one of the most difficult things.
Yeah.
And if you just saw the quality difference like we just did, I'm just as surprised as you are. It's the exact same camera. This is on Aidan, so this is Aidan's camera right now.
Yeah.
It's the same camera. I have no idea why the difference is so much clearer than
I don't know
my
either.
camera.
I don't know either. I think maybe it's when you gave my camera a bit of a wipe at the remember at the start? You're like,
I was wiping it
don't
down.
touch the camera, and I was trying really hard not to. But there you are on the outside there, moving up through the bunch.
It's like moving anywhere was really difficult because you know, you just like you really have to be used to like people coming near you. You got to be used to having some bumps and some shoulders and elbows.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way that you're going to be able to move up here.
Is that me? That's my camera.
Yeah, this is your camera here. I think this is you think you're going for a breakaway?
I think I am. Must have been. Yeah, like brakes were so hard. I just don't know why they didn't stick. As a breakaway would, with any sort of race, but especially the criteriums and especially A-grade criteriums, a breakaway can really gas your legs up, which is really not ideal, especially if you're like me and your positioning's not perfect, and then you find yourself in a position where you're on the front and you kind of have to chase down a group, or you have to keep pushing on the brake, or, you know, depending on if you're in the breakaway or you're in the peloton chasing. But yeah, you got to be really careful to not expel too much energy chasing or trying to, you know, break off, because there was a few times which we saw earlier where I pushed fairly hard to try like, you know, bridge a gap or send off the front or whatever, and that can really stuff your legs.
Yeah, like for the breakaways that I did, I put in way too many binkies. Like for a few of them, I did try and get in that breakaway, and the other times I was just in the right spot and I just followed the right wheel at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to follow them, but I mean I had to. Like it was just right there, I might as well.
Yeah.
Just see where this leads to, and that did gas the legs. Like I was pretty bonked out in the last 3 laps to go. I was pretty bonked out. Like I had a few like gels to try and like recover.
Mental recovery.
Yeah, it's sort of like I had a gel with like 10 minutes to go, and I knew that, wow, that wouldn't like help the legs at all, but like it helps the brain.
Mentally. Yeah, it helps. It's kind of like a little reviver kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a tease the brain out a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what you need at times. So like that's totally fair.
In a bit of a breakaway here now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
I sort of, when I was mashing it up, it was sort of hard to keep following what was happening.
Yeah.
Because
actually, one thing I do wish, I mean, I know it might be a bit tricky, but like Adam was like, oh, you guys should have had a rear camera on so we can get some footage from the rear end and see, you know, where the brakes are, the gap in the brakes, you know. So that would have been interesting as well, to get a rear camera.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have been able to have two, like you and me on a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rear camera I've got is a Fly 6. You're not allowed to Fly 6 on.
Yeah,
in the
apparently
races.
you're not allowed the front one, which is the Fly 12 Eva. You're not allowed that.
Yeah,
because it still acts as a light, isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
I think the Fly 6 and the Fly 12s has always got like a constant like light.
Yeah.
So they're okay. The Fly 6 is okay in a road race.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a red light.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have a front light, so they
still wouldn't like the 12.
No,
Yeah.
But in crits you can't really have anything on your bike.
But to be honest, yeah, and you're right. But to be honest, like, you know, who wants extra weight on their bike when they're doing a crit anyway? You want to take everything off.
Yeah,
even if they said you're allowed to have like a big bulky Fly 12 or Fly 6, I would just be like, nope.
Yeah.
I'd rather be lightweight, thanks.
Well, I mean, these cameras are around like 50 grams.
Oh, well, your cameras are fine.
Yeah, I think it's Grupo Compacto.
Yeah.
Because the breakaways were really large, so it was really hard to tell if it was a breakaway or if we were just doing some rolling turns on the front, which I kind of doubt. So I'm assuming we're in the breakaway.
I'm assuming we're in the break as well. Actually, this bit I definitely know is a breakaway, because I remember they're both two guys I know, Adam and Harry. Adam from Stitch and Dart, Harry from HBC. And I remember we gave it a bit of a kick, the two of us.
And we are coming into 3 laps to go now. This is where I went for my 3-lap flyer. This is I sort of found myself in the right spot, saw an opportunity, turned off my thinking brain, and then just went instinct.
For it. Yeah.
Just see how things go. Well, there was a bit of a lull, so I thought, let's just go for it. It didn't end up working. Got chased down by the Malaysian team, I think it was.
Oh, well, it would have been a bit of everyone at that point, but predominantly the Malaysians. But as you can see here, where, you know, that's back to my camera, I believe, and we're all just kind of making ground on you. So like it was an awesome effort.
I think we're at 2 laps to go right now.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of us, the Mobius guy, he's super strong.
Yeah, he's actually a weapon. He's a weapon.
He's a breakaway man. Like, he'll just sit at a tempo and just sit on it.
Yeah, he seems like an everything man. He's bloody strong on the hell ride as well, so.
Oh, well, you know, everyone's strong on the hell ride. It's just pitch road.
Yeah.
It's just pitch road.
Good point, actually. Good point.
But nah. So what's the plan for moving to the front here, Aidan?
Well, the plan in my head was, right, we've got a few laps to go. I need to get up near the front end, otherwise I'm going to miss the opportunity to sprint. I was, once again, I'm telling myself, like, it's going to be strung out. There's the Malaysians, which is TSG, the team.
I wasn't know.
I think it's TSG on the front driving it. I also knew that, as you can see here, Harry sets up a bit of a lead out with his two other Hunter Bro fellas.
Yeah, I saw them at the back gathering up,
Yeah.
and I knew there's going to be a throwdown here.
Oh, I knew something was up, and I was like, about here, I needed to be right up the pointy end of the race, because what happens on this next corner, you'll see, kind of sets the race up properly. So,
You don't mention it, we're not allowed to mention it.
oh, that's right.
You can't put the sport into split, so you can't mention what happened.
Yeah.
But these guys were pretty quick. Was the plan to jump on like a lead out train?
So the plan was basically here, if this is the last lap, I think it's second last lap maybe, hang on. I think this might be the second last.
No, this is definitely last.
This
lap.
is definitely last lap?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's me there. Could be second last lap. Anyway, so where does your mind go when you're trying to move up like 30 riders?
My mind goes out of my head basically, and I turn into a horse with those, what do you call them, blinkers on, and basically just go, I don't give a shit about what everyone, oh sorry, I can't say that on.
Oh no, it's right.
I don't really care about what anyone else is doing or what they want. This is the last lap. I don't really care about what anyone else is doing or what they want. I'm basically going to move up. I don't care how, but I'm just going to basically push a little bit and try and move up. But then again, my pushing is pretty pathetic. But anyway,
Yeah,
this is the last lap, and like as you'll see here, around the back end, I try to move up, but I get stuck behind some wheels. But at this point, I was like, all right, this is it. I'm already out of position. I'm running out of time. We're moving fairly quick. And we come around this corner. On this corner, I reckon I should have been in the top 10.
Yeah, on this course, St Kilda's course, it's very difficult to move up and not expend energy.
Exactly.
Because if you move up here, and you're just in the wind.
Yeah, and then as you can see here, I try to move up a little bit. I get stuck behind one of the lead-out guys. But then Adam, who's, as I said, rides for Stitch and Dark, comes beside me, says, come on, mate, I'll try to give you a lead-out here. So as you can see, we're flying down the back straight, but at this point we're so far back, and we kind of try to move up before everyone breaks, so we're doing some late braking, but as you can see, there's at least 10, maybe even more riders, 15 riders ahead, and I give it like a pathetic little sprint, and then I sit up in the next few seconds here somewhere. I sit up just here. I realise it's not even worth it, so I just roll through.
Yeah, it's a real art form, being a sprinter.
Oh yeah.
You've got to be mean, you've got to be tough, and you've just got to be strong. Like, you gotta make people respect you as a sprinter.
Exactly.
You can't give up that wheel because someone will just got to take it. It's a free for all.
It really is.
It makes it easier when you got a team.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to be mentally strong.
Totally agree. It's just so annoying because I keep thinking to myself, if I moved up on that last lap on that corner 2 or 3, I could have potentially, sat in on the Malaysian train or the Inform train, if there was one, I can't really tell, but I could have sat on someone's train and then potentially straggled for something, but who knows. It's over now, and it was a good race. I enjoyed it.
Most of the things come with instincts, and you get instinct by
more riding,
more experience. Yeah.
More riding, more racing.
Yeah, it was a good race.
I enjoyed it. I honestly just can't wait to do this again. It doesn't have to be crit champ or anything. Just regular crits. Chuck a camera on, get some footage, because then that way people can get a good understanding for some of the race tactics that goes on. And by no means am I an expert. I'm far from it actually. But like, it gives you helps give you an idea of what these guys are doing. Like the Mobius guy, the Inform guy. The guy on my left, what's his name again? Pat something. But it gives you an idea of what these proper race guys are doing.
Racing against teams when you're an individual is very tough.
Oh yeah.
Because you've got to walk that fine line of doing efforts and knowing not when to do an effort.
Exactly.
Like knowing when to do an effort is really tough. Because if you do the effort, you're just going to be dragging along the whole other team. You're going to be dragging along the sprinters.
Yeah, and they would love that, won't they?
Yeah, they would love that. So you got to get it in there's got to be a right combination in the breakaway of all the teams represented.
Yeah.
And then you can jump on the team trains, but then it's easier said than done because that's what every individual rider is going to want to do.
Exactly, and then it gets all pushy and shovey. which gets scary.
36 riders, all jumping for the 5 spots.
Yeah.
The math doesn't work out. There's going to be
An accident.
some difficulties in getting to that spot.
Yeah. But as you can see, I just pop over to talk to Adam, and I say thanks for the lead out, which was very nice of him. Again, he didn't have to do that for me, but it helped a little bit. But as I said, at that point of the race, we were too far back as it is. So.
Well, thanks, Aidan. That was good.
Thanks, TJ. I enjoyed it. Thanks, mate.
Good, it's recording still.
Yeah, I was about to say, imagine if it just cut out. So guys, just do it again. No biggie. It's good footage, huh? I do enjoy looking at the footage and stuff.
It was really I thought there'd be like a big split or a big breakaway go off the road, but they both caught. It never really slowed down that much.
You sure? Okay, we want you to go through the post-production afterwards, okay? Because there's a message in there for you, okay?
What's that?
No, never mind. So, Aidan, how did you feel he went?
It was pretty good. The only disappointing thing was, last 3 laps it got really messy and everyone kind of, obviously the bunch came back together.
Heard a lot of yelling.
There was plenty out the back, and then got around the corner on the last lap, corner 2. It was almost a crash, did you see? It got close, it was almost a bit of a fall, and then everyone started getting a bit messy on the back straight, and then most of us guys kind of fell back, and the Malaysians pushed through, and then by the sound of it, they led a victory. So.
And Terence, how did you go in the end with 2 laps to go? You're actually out the front.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there was an opportunity, I took it.
Madman.
It was off a counter attack.
Adam.
It was just off a counter attack, and I saw an opportunity. I just went.
Adam, how do you feel today?
Yeah, pretty tired.
Pretty tired?
Yeah.
Fast race?
It was fast and slow, like it was tactical.
Yeah, tactical. Yeah. Did you hear me yelling they were playing games at the front?
Yeah, I know they're playing games at the front.
Yeah.
Because there's none of the teams really wanted to go first. There was Inform, Hunter Bros, there's Malaysian team, then there's Inform, and I sort of thought that 3 laps to go, if I went, I was hoping that they'd play a bit more tactics, and McFly, apparently it was Martin who was chasing me down.
Yeah, saw that.
Oh well.
Oh, it is what it is. It was good racing though, it was fun. But yeah, it was just too, chop and change. The pace wasn't as hot as I'd say some of the other St Kilda races have been, but as Adam said, it was more of a tactical thing. So.
Yeah, cool.